Hey, welcome back. It's JWalter here. In my previous video, I shared some leading indicators that could be showing some early signs of a housing market slowdown. However, in today's video, I want to share the latest housing stats with you guys. I'll give you updates regarding home prices, asking prices, new listings, and housing inventory. And of course, much more. So if you get any value out of this video, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. So this is again, according to Redfin. They actually posted this yesterday at the time of this video. So here are the key housing market takeaways for 400 plus US metro areas. And this is for the 4-week period ending March 27th. And by the way, Redfin data only goes back to 2015. So when they're talking about records, it only goes back to 2015. In any case, the median sold price, which again is a lagging indicator, was up 17% year over year to a new all-time record high of $382,000, the biggest jump since the 4 weeks ending August 1st, 2021. Again, home sold prices, and a lot of these stats here I'm sharing with you today are lagging indicators, meaning it's really an indication of what the housing market was approximately 1 month ago when the home seller and home buyer were negotiating a contract, then they officially signed a sales agreement. Meanwhile, the median asking price of newly listed houses increased 15% year over year to a new all-time record high of $400,000 basically. This marks a slowdown from February though, when asking prices were rising at an annual rate of roughly 16%. It's important to note that during this time of year, our housing stats should start increasing because our housing market in April really tends to pick up through the summer months, basically through May or June of each year. So a lot of these stats should be on an upward trend and not slowing down. That's an important distinction to note when looking at these housing stats. Meanwhile, the monthly mortgage payment on the median asking price home rose to a record high of $2,234 per month, given current mortgage rates of 4.67% for the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That's actually up 31% from 1 year ago when mortgage rates were only 3.18%. The typical monthly mortgage payment is up $537 since the start of this year alone, and that of course is due to skyrocketing mortgage rates. Active listings, which is another word for housing inventory or housing supply, the total number of houses for sale, that actually fell 22% year over year to $475,800, the fifth lowest level on record. That's just shy of the all-time record low of 473,000 houses for sale that actually was just last month. One very important factor I want to mention to you guys is that I don't really foresee home prices crashing this year, and that's because we have record low housing inventory. If we had inventory skyrocketing on top of mortgage rates skyrocketing, then that's a recipe for a housing market crash. But we're not really seeing that just yet because we're not seeing a big increase in housing supply, and that's why we're not seeing any big decreases in home prices just yet. This report goes on to say the following: a record 59% of the houses that went under contract had an accepted offer within the first 2 weeks on the market. That's up 4 percentage points from 1 year ago. But this growth has slowed from 1 month ago though. This metric though has been on a slowing trend though. Even though it's increasing, it's on an increasingly slowing trend. So compared to 1 month ago, we were up 6 percentage points from 1 year ago. Now we're up 4 percentage points. In addition, a record 45% of houses that went under contract had an accepted offer within 1 week of hitting the market. That was up 3 points from 1 year ago. However, this metric is also slowing down because from 1 month ago, it was 4% higher compared to 1 year ago. Not a big difference, but an important trend to follow. On top of this, days on the market was 20 days. That's down from 29 days from 1 year ago, a record low for this time of the year. On average, 3% of houses for sale each week had a price drop. That's up 0.6 percentage points from 1 year ago. And here's something very important here. This metric's growth rate has increased from 1 month ago when it was up 0.3% year over year. Also, the average sale to list price ratio reached 102%. That basically means that home sellers who have sold their houses for 2% more than their asking price on average. And that's up from 100.2% from a year ago and the highest level since the 4 weeks ending August 1st, 2021. Again, a lot of these are lagging indicators though. All right, so with that said, I want to share some graphics with you guys to kind of give you an idea about how the numbers we have right now compared to prior years. So here's the median sold price, again, up 16.9% year over year. We had a typical dip this January and February of this year, just like we saw in 2021 and 2020. But the increase in prices is quite astounding, 17% year over year increase. Again, this is a lagging indicator though. Home buyer mortgage payments are up 30.5% year over year, and that's because home prices have increased greatly, but also mortgage rates have been spiking greatly as well, and that's causing the average monthly mortgage payment to spike as well, far higher compared to 2021 and 2020. Pending home sales are up 0.7% year over year. That's when a home seller accepts an offer from a home buyer. And the levels we have right now are slightly above 2021, but basically more or less in line with last year, which is pretty astonishing because this is more a leading indicator because when a home seller accepts an offer from a home buyer, the house doesn't close escrow for about a month later, right? However, what's pretty astonishing to me when I look at this is that if we have the same number of more or less pending home sales now compared to last year, that's pretty astonishing given the fact we have much less housing supply compared to last year. So here's the total number of active listings for sale, down 22.3% year over year. 1 year ago, we had just over 600,000 houses for sale in the US, at least for these 400 plus US metros. And now we only have 475,000. So even though we have far less inventory, or 22% less, then we have basically the same number of pending home sales. We'll have to see if this continues though, given the fact that mortgage rates have been spiking. And here's another problem with our housing market. We're not seeing enough new listings to hit the market. So right now, new listings are down 7.5% or 7.4% compared to 1 year ago, levels far lower than the past couple of years. Meanwhile, 59% of pending home sales went under contract within 2 weeks, obviously much higher compared to the last couple of years. But as you can see here, this slowing trend right here, really ever since the beginning of February, we have been increasing, but not at the same pace as last year, where we should see this increase over the next couple of weeks. We also see this slowing trend when looking at pending home sales that went under contract within 1 week. Obviously, we're at very elevated levels compared to prior years, but look at this. It's not increasing at the same rate as last year. Last year, it started to increase more rapidly compared to this year, and that could be due to the fact we have increasing mortgage rates. In regards to price drops, check this out. So for the 4 weeks ending March 27th, 3% of the houses that actually sold had price drops, which is pretty astonishing. Obviously a low amount, historically speaking, of course. When we look at 2021, at this time last year, it was approximately 2.25%. As you can see here on this graphic here too, for 2022, this has been increasing at a greater rate than 2021. Again, not big differences here, but definitely something to track in the next coming months and also the next coming weeks. And I'll definitely keep you guys posted regarding all this. So please comment below with your biggest takeaway from today's video. Also, if you got any value out of this video, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And also consider subscribing as well. Hope you have an awesome weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.